Uganda eziringa 46 nga at least bofunako districts 98 oba okakasizza nti ddala ojja sobola okutalaaga eggwanga lino n'osobola okubeera nga ofuna obuwagizi obwetaagisa. So baali ku districts zonna baali okwetaazaako 98 zokka n'oba nga ofunyeyo gikusemba nti osobola okubeera pulezidenti. Naye abamu oba oliawo omulimu guno tegubabeeredde mwangu kubanga kati abantu abajjayo empapula abaali abangi ennyo bwe bati kirabika nga abakomezzaawo ate mwana tubalwatu kubanga okusinziira ku mawulire ge tufuna agali ku ground emmotoka ezitegekeddwawo ez'okubeera nga ziweebwa oba oliawo abo abasuubira okuba nga bamaze okunominatingibwa okugenda okutalaaga ebitundu by'eggwanga ebyenjawulo nga banoonya akalulu. Emmotoka ziyinza obutasukka 9 kitegeeza nti oba oliawo n'abagenda okubeera nga balina ebyo ebyetaaga okuba nga basunsuddwa okuvuganya ku ntebe eyo bayinza obutasukka 10 n'okudda waggulu awo. So kati enteekateeka eyo bwetyo bweri ffe tugenda kubeera nga tugikusunsulira nga tukuwa ebigenda mu maaso ku ground eyo n'okulaba nti oba oliawo enteekateeka ki egenda mu maaso. Olunaku olwaleero abamu ku be tubadde tusuubira okusunsulwa kubaddeko omukulu akwatidde bendera omukulu Nathan Nandala Mafaabi, naye kitegeerekese nti ate yasindikiddwa mu lunaku olw'enkya wagenda okubeera nga naye akolebwako. Kale nno tugenda kubeera nga tukuwaabo oba oliawo abagenda okuba nga bakolebwako olunaku olwaleero nga bwe nkutegeezezza nti omukulu Robert Kasibante y'omukwati kwabo abagenda okuba nga basunsulwa akaseera kano kennyininyini asobole okuba nga naye yeegatta ku mukulembeze w'eggwanga yamaze dda okuba nga asunsulibwa asobole okuba nga agenda mu maaso n'okulaba nga yeeteeka mu lwokaano oba yeetaba mu lwokaano. Koze ebiyinza okuwaako omwami ono abadde amanyikiddwa nnyo emabegako eri twamulabako yali yeegwanyiza ntebe y'ababaka bwa paalamenti obwa Busujju n'ajjako awo twamulabako okusooka yali ajjidde mu kibiina ekya NRM ekiri mu buyinza then n'asooka agenda awo n'anoonya akalulu ak'obubaka bwa paalamenti e Busujju eyo. Ate bwe kyagenda kitambula awo bwe twagenda ne tutuuka mu kaseera ak'akamyufu kaabwe oba akamyufu kapu ate n'agamba asijja kujja nga wa NRM n'asooka addako ku ssaawa awo ne tumulaba ng'alanga essaawa kati ekibiina kivuddemu olw'ensonga nkubye ttooki oba oliawo nga ndaba kiyinza obutabeera fair bwe tunakaffe aka NRM n'alanga ku ssaawa awo ne tumanya nti agenda kujja nga independent mu Busujju eyo ng'obubaka bwa paalamenti naye ng'ali ku ssaawa. Then ate era twagenda okulaba ng'ate akutte fulaga National Peasant Party era ng'omuyima waakyo ye muyimbi Stacia Mayanja awo n'akwata flag eyo n'abeera nga kati ye presidential flag bearer agenda okubeera nga akwatira ekibiina ekyo ekya National Peasant Party. Kale katugende tuli omulamuzi atubuulire enteekateeka ga kwegenda nja kuba nkomawo nkunyonyere ekigenda okuba nga kiddako mu maaso awo.
Next aspirant. Subject him to the nomination process. May I request his agent to bring forward his papers. Thank you.
If you are joining us for the first time online, and if you've just joined us, what is happening now, as the chairperson has stated, is the aspirant, his agent, submitted the documents to the commission, and the commission has now directed its technical team. The Commission has directed its technical team to verify every element of those papers, of those submissions, as guided by the Presidential Elections Act, the law that guides the nominations of presidential candidates. If you are joining us for the first time online, and as a reminder, just to reiterate what they just joined us, what Chairperson said earlier, what is being verified there is the confirmation that there is a fully completed nomination form that is agent that has been delivered, submitted in triplicate, in 3 copies. The Commission has now directed its technical team. There is also the Commission has directed its declaration of consent to verify by the aspirant every element to that nomination of those papers, of those submissions to be nominated or to go through this process of nomination. The Presidential Elections Act, the law that guides the teams must meticulously, nominations check every element of presidential candidates. Proof that the aspirant went to school and obtained the minimum to reiterate qualifications required for a presidential candidate, and that is a minimum of the advanced level certificate of education, a fully which is senior nomination form, is a way of describing it. A level, senior 6, that has been advanced level standard, delivered, submitted in triplicate, in 3 copies. They will also be checking to make sure that the aspirant, there is also a registered voter. A declaration of the law says that by the aspirant, an aspirant for this position of president, or to be a presidential candidate to that nomination, must be a citizen of Uganda, must be 18 years and above to be nominated, must be a registered voter and therefore on the National Voters Register. And those same requirements apply to the must meticulously proposer and seconder, and those two have to be checked there. Proof that the aspirant went to school, and the teams are also checking the minimum that the aspirant has come with, the certificate that confirms a president that he, the aspirant, candidate, and that is a minimum of submitted and had verified certificate of education, the list of supporters, which is senior as required by the law. And the law requires that the aspirant must prove a level that is supported by at least 100 supporters, who also must be registered voters. And the National Voters Register will be checking that they are Ugandans, citizens, to make sure that from at least 2/3 of the districts in Uganda, the aspirant, which makes it 98 districts, is a and therefore voter. When you multiply 98 times 100, the minimum number required for that specific requirement in the law is 9,800 supporters. And for this position president, or to be a presidential candidate, must be a citizen of Uganda. The aspirant will also attach, and above is required to attach 3 recent registered voters photographs on the National Voters Register. Once successful, if successful, and those same requirements when successful apply to the ballot paper, proposer and seconder, and those two have to be checked. The aspirants also fundable. The non-refundable nomination fee. The teams are also checking of who becomes the liaison, the contact person, Ugandans, between the commission citizens, from at least on any matter
two-thirds of the
that relates
districts in
to
Uganda, which makes
the
it
election.
98 districts.
So briefly, those who are following,
And
that is what
therefore,
is happening.
When you multiply
The movements you are seeing
98
here in
times
front,
100, the minimum number required for that specific requirement in the law
there are some big books on the
is
table of the commission
9,800 supporters.
that you see commissioners checking. Those are called the compendium of electoral laws. They contain every law that relates to elections in Uganda, from the local government elections
attached
to the presidential elections,
is required to attach
all guided by different acts,
3 racing poster card size
and everything
photographs
that is
that
being
will be used once successful, if successful.
So those are the books that are being consulted,
when successful,
or that guide
on the ballot paper,
these processes.
the aspirants also indicate that and prove that they have paid the non-refundable nomination fee of 20 million Uganda shillings.
Section 8 of the Presidential
As,
Elections Act says that the
Commission
Commission shall
representing a political party
issue a notice in
the
the
symbol that
Gazette
they will use on the
appointing 2 days
ballot
during which nominations
is
of
the
candidates for
symbol
president
of
will
their
be made.
political party.
This is
And
that
if it
such
were
day, the first day
independent
of those 2
aspirant,
gazetted days. Today, the 23rd of September,
they would
and
have,
tomorrow, the 24th of
before they
September. We've been
leave,
talking about these days,
the commission, they would have to be given
and they looked very far, but
symbol
now here we are, they are
use,
here.
but
It's
in this
23rd
case, for an aspirant who is a
September, and
representing
tomorrow,
a
24th
political party or a
September
flag bearer of the
2025.
political party, they will use
On these grounds.
that symbol. And they also indicate that they have appointed an official agent who becomes the liaison, the contact person.
That
Between
law
the
says
commission.
that every place
On any
fixed
matter that
for
relates
nomination
to
of candidates shall be a public place
the election.
in a central place.
So briefly, those who are following, that is what is happening.
And today,
The movement
this
you're
is
seeing
such a public
here
place,
in front,
such a central place, and our own, the home of the commission going forward. The EC grounds here
there are some big books on the table of the
in
commission
Rubowa.
that you see.
We've been telling those who came
commissioners
before you,
checking.
the others, that
Those are called the compendium of electoral laws. They
being
contain
here is
every law
historic because
that relates to elections in
we are in a
Uganda,
place
from the local government elections
that is home to the
to
commission
the
going
presidential
forward,
elections,
permanent.
all guided by different acts,
And everything that is being
so those are the books that are being consulted or that guide these processes. Section 8 of the Presidential Elections Act says that
We
the
have,
Commission shall issue a notice in the Gazette appointing 2 days
the nomination papers as presented by
nominations of candidates for president will be made.
Kasivante Robert,
This is that such
and we
day,
have found
the first day
he
of
meets
those two
all
gazetted days.
the
Today,
best
the 23rd
criteria
of September,
as prescribed in the law.
and tomorrow, the 24th of September. We've been talking about
Therefore,
these days,
I, Justice Byabakama Mugenyi Simon,
and they looked very
being the
far,
returning
but now here
officer
we are, they are here.
for
It's
the
23rd
nomination of presidential candidates,
September,
declare
tomorrow,
Kasavante
24th September
Robert a
2025.
duly nominated candidate in
grounds.
respect of the presidential elections 2026. He having fulfilled the nomination requirements under the Presidential Elections Act, Chapter 179.
That law says that, that every place fixed for nomination of candidates shall be a public place in a central place. And today, this is such a public place, such a central place, and our own, the home of the commission going forward. The EC grounds here in Rubowa.
I will therefore request the aspirant or his
We've been
agent,
telling those who came
whichever he
before
chooses,
you, the others,
to come and
that,
sign the nomination paper. Aspirant or your agent,
being here is
whichever you
historic
choose.
because we are in a place that is home to the commission going forward, permanent.
We have nomination papers as presented by Kasavante Robert, and we have found he meets all the best criteria as prescribed in the law. Now,
Therefore,
aspirant candidate, candidate Kasavante Robert, I wish you to take note of the following. Being the returning officer, as a duly nominated candidate, presidential candidates, you will be required to do the following. Declare Kasavante Robert, appoint an official agent who will coordinate your campaign meetings and media program, and also attend meetings on your behalf where necessary. He having fulfilled, secondly, the nomination avail the commission of the schedule of your campaign meetings, Chapter 179, and media program as soon as practicable to facilitate the smooth harmonization of all the candidates' campaign programs countrywide. Thirdly, sign a memorandum of understanding with the Electoral Commission on compliance with the harmonized campaign program, timelines, as well as guidelines. Now, the Commission is required under the law, after nomination, to issue the candidate with the soft copy of the National Voters Register which I now wish to hand over to you. A soft copy of National Voters Register is hereby handed over to you. I will therefore request the aspirant or his agent, whichever he chooses, to come and sign the nomination
After here,
aspirant or your agent. The law also requires us to avail every candidate with security for your protection at all material times during the period of your candidature. On the road and at home, you are now in a different category of citizens. You are no longer ordinary. We shall therefore proceed to hand over to you the security vehicle together with the personnel who will be using that vehicle for your protection on your campaign trail or wherever you'll be going. Secondly, after that, you will proceed to the media tent where you are at liberty to address the nation by talking to the media or have an interview with the media. Can we now proceed to where the vehicles are? Thank you.
We'll let the commission lead. The commission will lead the candidate to their security vehicle and security detail. The candidate can come and join the commission with your people, with your people. So those who are watching, the person who came in as an aspirant now lives as a candidate, and as the chairperson has said, he lives a different person because now he's bound by electoral laws. He's a guest of electoral laws, and as has been said, has to abide by them, including laws. The fact that now and as has been said, has to abide by them, including he has to be protected. The fact that now yes, he has to be protected. Yes.
Ey'obukulembeze bw'eggwanga kakati ebifaananyi byogenda okubanga olaba mu maaso.
So embeera bwetyo era nga kakati okusinzira kateeka oyo naye
ey'obukulembeze bw'eggwanga
agenda kuba avuganya mu kalulu ka 2-3 oyo nno agenze nga omuntu wa buli naye kati amaze okukakasibwa era okusinziira ku nteekateeka y'akakiiko k'ebyokulonda omuntu oyo agenda kuweebwa emmotoka ya security ate juga twakutegezaako nti security ku luno egenda okukuuma abo bonna abavuganya ku ntebe ennene ey'obwa security ya SFC oba eggye liri erikuuma president. So kati buli omu agenda kuba nga aweebwa kabangali era ng'ebyakoleddwa ku president Museveni bwe yamaliriza yasobodde okuba nga agenda ne bamuwa security ne bamuwa emmotoka egenda omuyambako mu kutambula ate era nono naye byebimu byennyininyini ebigenda omukolebwako bw'anaamala okufuna olw'okuba nga ayogerako eri bannamawulire olwo nno tusobole okuba nga tukakasa abakulembeze oba abagala entebe wa pulezidenti babiri olunaku olwaleero abamaze okubeera nga bawandiisibwa okuvuganya ku ntebe ennene. Kale kati gwe abadde amanyi mukulu Robert Kasibante kakati ate ayongeddwako amayinja amalala kati presidential candidate avuganya ku ntebe ennene era kati ne protocol zikyuseemu kubanga security kati emuliko toyinza kumala gamutuukirira nga bwobadde omutuukirira oba oliawo kati waliwo protocol gy'olina oyitamu kuba kati omuntu ngera omukulu omulamuzi byabakama bwagambye nti kakati oyo sitetasi yeeba ekyukiddewo era kyobola ne security kati gy'alina tomala gamutuukako agenda kubanga atalaaga agenda kubanga asobolera ddala okutambula eggwanga lyaffe lino oba ensi yaffe Uganda ng'agenda asaba obuwagizi bwammwe okusinziira ku nteekateeka y'okulonda kampeyini bayinza basuubirwa okuzita omwezi ogw'11 olwo nno abantu batandika okuba nga banoonya open kampeyini ezo newankubadde era abantu bakyebuuza kigenda kubeera okusinziira ku Norbert Mao yatutegeeza n'agamba nti omulundi guno kiyinza okuba ekyenjawulo kubanga tosuubira nnyo kuleekaana nnyo kugenda kubeera mu process eno ey'okunoonya akalulu tosuubira nnyo nkuŋŋaana z'abantu bangi awo omuntu weyeebuuliza nti omulundi guno kigenda kufaanana kitya ndowooza oba oliawo kyova olaba ne security ebaweereddwa ku luno si ya bulijjo oba bulijjo babawa poliisi motoka za poliisi babangaliza poliisi nesandika okuba nga zibakuuma nga batalaaga naye ku mulundi guno babaweeredde ddala security ekuuma omukulembeze oba ekuuma president w'eggwanga eya SFC so tulowooza nti ku mulundi guno kiyinza okubeera ekiralamu kati ffenna tulindirira kulaba ate bwe banaatuuka ku lunaku luli nga bamaze okuta campaign obutongole kinaalabika kitya kinaatambula kitya enkuŋŋaana zino eno zigenda kubeera nga zikubwa zitya ebyo byonna byonna bannayuganda ndowooza kati beebuuza okumanya nti kati ki ekiddako after nga nomination zino zimaze okuggwa nga bwe nkutegeezezza nti abajjayo empapula bo baali bangi naye kirabika okuba nga abazza be batono kyova olaba nti twakafuna ziri bbiri zokka zokka olwaleero n'olwenkya kati olunaku olwenkya waliwo kubeera nga bakola ki so kati katulabe omukulu Kasibante nga ayogerako eri bannamawulire presidential candidate ow'ekibiina ekya National Peace and Party kabonero kaabwe campaign katumulabe
the millions whose hands till the land whose sweat waters our nation prosperity servant but whose cries have long and a voice gone unheard millions. I thank the leadership and the grassroots members of the National Peasant Party till the land for placing whose sweat their trust in me. The nomination is not mine alone. It belongs to every farmer, every fisherman, every mother in the village, market, every youth earning opportunity, and every elder members of the National Peasant Party who has kept the fire of resilience burning in our communities. The nomination is not the peasant of our nation. It belongs to you have been forgotten. Farmer, you have fed up this country. Every mother you have raised in the village, its leaders. You have protected its culture and its soul. And yet you remain without prosper. Roads, decent health, kept the fire, care, resilience, quality education burning in our community. Fair price for your produce. Today, the peasant of our nation and the world, you have been forgotten. Your time has come. You have fed up. This campaign country is not built on promises. It is built on purpose. It is time for a government its culture that understands your struggle. Yet you not for ports in air, roads, conditioned offices, else, but from lived experience, quality education.
The mandate is here at the table of the commission.
So I'll request protocol. I'll request protocol to bring
the nation and the world.
the aspirant. Yes.
Your time
Please.
has come. This campaign is not built on promises. It is built on purpose.
So please welcome aspirant Joseph Mabilizi, who returns to present to the commission. So please welcome aspirant Joseph Mabilizi. What is required of him, who for nomination returns to present to the commission. Lord Chairperson of the Electoral Commission and Deputy and Commissioners, you have before you aspirant required of him, Mabilizi, for nomination.
Aspirant Joseph Mabilizi, we commend you for
Lord Chairperson of
commitment
the Electoral
you have
Commission
shown
and Deputy and
in
Commissioners,
offering yourself
you
as a
have before
presidential
you
candidate in
aspirant
facing the problem so soon as we guided earlier on
Mabilizi.
this afternoon. So now you can now present your papers directly to the desk so that my people can go through and ascertain whether the issue that was pointed out has been addressed or sorted. Thank you. We commend you for the commitment you have shown in offering yourself as a presidential candidate in facing the problem so soon as we guided earlier on this afternoon. So now you can now present your papers directly to the desk so that my people can go through and ascertain whether the issue that was pointed out has been addressed or sorted. Thank you.
Section 4 of the Presidential Elections Act says that a person is not qualified for election as president unless that person is a citizen of Uganda by birth, at least 18 years and above, has completed a minimum formal education of advanced level standard or its equivalent, and is a registered voter. Those are the first basic requirements in the law for somebody to qualify to run for election as candidate for election as president of Uganda. And part of what is being verified and checked by the technical team here are those requirements. Section 4 of the Presidential Elections Act says that a person is not qualified. That same section
for
further
election as
says
president
unless that person is a citizen of Uganda by birth, at least 18 years and above, has completed any of the following persons wishing to stand for election as president shall establish his or her qualifications with the Electoral Commission
and is a registered voter.
as a person holding minimum qualification of advanced level or its
Requirements
equivalent.
in the law.
For somebody, and that person is required to establish, to qualify, to run. Their qualifications include persons, whether their qualification is obtained from Uganda or outside Uganda, who are claiming to have verified and their qualifications accepted as equivalent to A level, and persons claiming to have advanced level qualifications obtained outside Uganda, and persons claiming to have academic degrees which were obtained outside Uganda. Those are required to show evidence of equivalence, and that person is required to establish his or her qualifications under those sections above A and B, and that they will do so by production of a certificate issued to him or her by the National Council for Higher Education in consultation with Uganda National Examinations Board. That any of the following persons wishing to stand for election as president says that if a candidate has got advanced level qualifications with the Electoral Commission, or qualifications higher than a level person holding Uganda, or obtained from the former University of East Africa, or any of its constituent colleges, then there shall be no need for verification of their qualifications by the National Council for Higher Education. So, the requirement for verification of academic documents applies to those who have whether their qualification is obtained from Uganda, who obtain their qualifications from outside Uganda, who are claiming to have, or who have qualifications, their qualifications accepted as equivalent to A level. They say are equivalent to A level, and the body that is mandated to do that equating advanced level is the National Council for Higher Education outside Uganda. And persons claiming to have academic degrees which were obtained outside Uganda, those are required to show evidence of. Section 9 says that nomination of candidates equivalence, that is for presidential election and any other candidates for that matter, is required, may be made by a registered political party or her or organization sponsoring a candidate, or by a candidate standing for election as an independent. They will do so. That is section 9. Section 9 of the presidential certificate issued to him or her by the National Council for Higher Education in consultation with the Uganda National Examinations Board. Elections Act. That where a candidate is sponsored by a political party or organization, the nomination paper shall be endorsed and sealed by the political party or organization that is sponsoring him, or qualifications higher than A level. Some of the provisions of the Presidential Elections Act, or that from the former University of East Africa, that is governing everything that is happening here. Then there shall be no Presidential Elections Act. Verification of their qualifications by the National, and everything the Commission does, it does it in fulfillment of those provisions of that act and the other laws that are relevant to elections,
qualifications,
including the constitution, which is the mother document.
outside Uganda, or who have qualifications
That anchors, the constitution is what anchors the constitution of the Republic of Uganda of 1995 is what anchors everything that
is mandated to do
the commission
that
does,
equating
right from Article
the
1
National Council for Higher Education.
that says that the sovereignty of the people, all power belongs to the people, paraphrased that way. And section 4 that speaks about the people exercising their mandate to determine who will lead them through regular, free and fair elections. And Article 59
Section
establishing
9 says that,
the right to vote.
nomination of candidates, that is for president.
And Article 60 establishing the commission that you see here before you.
made by
Article
a registered
60.
political party
Or
or
there shall be an electoral
sponsoring a
commission
candidate
composed
or by a candidate
as you see it here.
standing for election as an
Chairperson,
independent.
a deputy chairperson,
That
and
is
5
Section
commissioners,
9, Section 9 of the Presidential Elections Act.
and with the secretary. That is Article 60 of the 1995 Constitution.
That
And
where
then Article
a
61
is sponsored by a political
elaborating
party
and
or
outlining
organization, the nomination
the functions
paper shall be
of the Electoral
endorsed
Commission.
and sealed by the political party or organization that is sponsoring him or her. Some of
So
the
that
provisions of
verification
the
that is ongoing
Presidential Elections Act, it's that
is making
act
sure that nothing
that
that
is
the Constitution says,
governing everything
nothing
that
that
is
the
happening here.
Presidential Election
Elections
Act demands is
everything the commission does
left unverified.
does it in fulfillment of
Those provisions of that act
and the other laws.
the commission
that are
is
relevant
to elections is a servant of the law, including the constitution,
which
of
is
those
the mother
laws.
document.
And all of us that anchors, the constitution is what anchors. That's why you see
Constitution
that
of the Republic of
Uganda
the-
of 1995, every effort is made
Anchors everything that
to make sure that
the commission does.
whoever wishes to, right from Article 1 to contest for the position, the seat, the position of the fountain of honor that says that the sovereignty of the people meets
All
every
power belongs to the
requirement,
paraphrased
law.
that way.
Section 4 that speaks about the people exercising their mandate to determine who will lead them through regular, free and fair elections. And Article 59 establishing the right to vote. And Article 60 establishing the commission that you see here before you. Article 60. That there shall be an electoral commission composed as you see it here. The chairperson, a deputy chairperson, and 5 commissioners. And with the secretary. That is Article 60 of the 1995 Constitution. And then Article 61, elaborating and outlining the functions of the Electoral Commission. These processes of
So that
the
process
verification
of that is
these
ongoing
presidential elections
is making sure
nominations that nothing that the constitution
started in
says,
earnest
nothing
when the commission
that the
announced that those who have what it takes
presidential election
could begin picking nomination forms and supporter
demands
forms and guidelines on the 11th of August.
left unverified. The commission is a servant of the law, of those laws.
Our distinguished
And all
guests,
of us,
we have scrutinized the papers of aspirant Mabirizi Joseph,
that's why you see that the
and we are satisfied he has sorted out
every
the matter
effort is made to make sure that
that required
whoever
him
wishes to
to go and clarify before he could be nominated.
contest
And all other matters, we are satisfied
for the
he has
position,
satisfied all the
seat,
other requirements
position
under the
of
law.
the fountain of honor
For that matter, I, Justice Byabakama Mugenyi
meets
Simon,
every requirement.
being the returning
the law.
officer for the nomination of presidential candidates, declare Mabirizi Joseph as a duly nominated candidate in respect of the presidential elections 2026, he having fulfilled the nomination requirements under the Presidential Elections Act, Chapter 179. Candidate Mabirizi Joseph, because you are no longer an aspirant, you are a candidate now. I would like you to note the following. As a duly nominated candidate, you'll be required to do the following. A, appoint an official agent who will coordinate your campaign meetings and media program, and also attend meetings on your behalf where necessary. Secondly, you are to avail the commission with the schedule of your campaign meetings and media program as soon as practicable to facilitate the smooth harmonization
These processes
of all the
of,
candidates' campaign
process
programs countrywide.
this presidential
Thirdly, to sign a memorandum of understanding with the Electoral Commission
nominations
upon compliance with the harmonized campaign program, the timelines, and guidelines. Now, at this juncture, I would like to
when the commission
ask you or your
announced
agent to
that,
come and sign
those
these
who have
papers
what it takes
confirming your candidature.
could begin picking nomination forms and supporter forms and guidelines on the 11th of August.
Congratulations. Now, there are two more activities to undertake at this venue before we release you. We have one under the Presidential Elections Act. We are required to avail you security, the papers of aspirant, all-round security, as they say, whether on the road or at home. And we shall do that by giving you a security vehicle together with the personnel who will accompany you wherever you go, whether on the campaign trail or wherever you want to go.
To go and clarify.
And also at your home, security for your home. You're also supposed to be guarded at your home. And secondly, thereafter, you will go to the media tent and talk to the nation through the media, address the media.
For that matter,
and once you've done that, if you want to talk to the media, that is, if you want to talk to the media, it is your right. After that, you'll be at liberty to go, but remember, the campaign program officially starts on the 29th of this month. However, if you want to meet your supporters at a designated place, you are at liberty to do that between now and the 29th, but not campaigning, meeting your supporters, maybe unfolding or rolling out your manifesto. You are at liberty to do that. Otherwise, can we now go to hand over your vehicle? Oh, sorry. Now, furthermore, under the law, the Electoral Commission is required to avail a nominated candidate with a copy or the National Voters Register in soft copy. So I wish to hand over this National Voters Register, which is in soft copy, to aid you in your campaign. You can send your agent to pick it. You are not a very big man. Let this. There you are.
You wait, the commission will lead you to your security vehicle and security detail. And at this point, we also want to thank the sign language
Joseph, because you are no longer
interpreters that have supported us today, for the people that speak and understand sign language. Mebo Murunji, Hope
I would like you to
Nyamwiza,
note the following.
Opori Jonan, and John Buyinza.
As the duly nominated candidate, you'll be required to do the following. A, appoint an official agent who will coordinate your campaign meetings and media program, and also attend meetings on your behalf where necessary. Secondly, you have to avail the commission with a schedule of your campaign meetings and media program as soon as practicable to facilitate the smooth harmonization of all the candidates' campaign programs countrywide. Thirdly, you are to sign a memorandum of understanding with the Electoral Commission upon
Buterev omukulu
omukulu Tony Joseph Mabirizi naye amaze okwegatta ku lukalala lwabo abagenda okubanga ntebe nnene ey'obwa president era nga olunaku olwaleero oyo y'owokusatu jjukira twasookedde ku president Yoweri Kaguta Museveni incumbent bwe twamumaliriza ye yabadde asookedde ddala emabega kaawo ne tufuna yabadde wa NRM, then ne tuddaawo ne tufuna omukulu Robert Kasibante wa National Peasant Party, ate nga kati tufunye omusumba Elton Joseph Mabirizi, era ono nno ye musumba era nga alina ekkanisa enamuŋŋoona emanyiddwa nga Ambassadors of Christ Church. Enamuŋŋoona ye musumba waayo, era nga omukulu ono omanyi bagamba addiŋŋana ekitiko yakijja oba addiŋŋana amawulu yagajjamu omukkuto. Kati guno omulundi gwe gugenda kubeera gwa kusatu nga yegeza mu ntebe ennene. Kinajjukirwa mu 2016 yalangirira okusalawo okwesimba ku ntebe eno ey'obukulembeze bw'eggwanga, era nga ensonga ezamugjayo zaalimu obuli bw'enguzi, ng'agamba nti eggwanga lyali ligenda mu mikono nga litambula mu ntambula etali ntuufu ey'okuba nti obuli bw'enguzi bwali bukadde mu ggwanga. N'avaayo nga ye omusumba n'agamba ke kaseera tuzigye enkwatemu mu 2016, era actually okusinziira ku nteekateeka ze yalina, singa bannayuganda baali bamuwadde ne bamukkiriza okumulonda nga president, mu myezi 6 egyasooka yali asuubiza okwongeza omusaala gw'abasawo, omusaala gw'abasomesa, omusaala gw'abakuumi ba security, ng'agamba nti abantu abo bankizo nnyo mu ggwanga okulaba nti bongezebwa kasente oba oliawo basobole okuba nga baweereza bulungi ensi yaabwe. Era n'omulundi 2016 ne bitagenda bulungi n'akomawo, so 2021 katumulaba 2026 era waali, so agezaako okulaba nti alemerako ku nteekateeka zino ez'okutwala eggwanga mu maaso, era ng'akyalemedde ku nsonga ze. Yagamba nti obuli bw'enguzi bukyali ensonga za muzinzi nnyo mu ggwanga ezirina okuba nga zikolebwako. Newankubadde wali awasooka teyalina kibiina kye yajjiramu, kubanga of course twayogerako naye mu biseera biri ebikadde, ng'alaga nti n'ebibiina oba oliawo ebyali biriwo biseera ebyo ebiraga nti by'opposition nabyo byali agenda yaabwe nga bwetunuulira, ng'alaba nabyo abantu baabwe abaalimu tebaali bakulembeze balungi. Of course twalinawo ekibiina kya Democratic Party ekyali kimusabye oba nga kimuyise nga kyagala oba oliawo akigatteko, naye n'agamba bwe yatunatulamu n'alaba nga oba oliawo nabo baali si balambulukufu okusinziira ku agenda ye gye yalina ey'okulaba nga ataasa eggwanga lino okulijja mu nvuba y'obuli bw'enguzi. Naye ku mulundi guno ate tulaba bannaffe aba Sept Conservative Party oba oliawo ku luno bayinza okuba bamulaze ne bamugamba kakati jangu tukwasaganye, era ndowooza omukulu the man omulengedde amubadde kumpi nnyo Kenny Chams okulaba nga atembeeta ensonga z'ekibiina. So bw'atyo oyo ye wokusatu ku baleero, era ng'enteekateeka bw'ozirabye nti aweebwa security egenda okuba nga emutambulirako, aweebwa obukuumi ewaka, wakati agenda kuba nga avudde mu bantu aba bulijjo wabula presidential material, era ng'alina okuba nga akuumibwa nga pulezidenti yennyininyini. Bannayuganda bana bamwesize ne bamuteekamu obwesigwa okulembera eggwanga lino, alina okuba nga ate ye asukkulumamuko kuffe. Okulaba aweereddwa obukuumi kati okutandika ne leero n'ebiseera byonna
kuba tumwegattako tutegeere ensonga tukyetegereza nga omukulu Elton Joseph Mabirizi agenda maaso n'okuba nga ategeera enteekateeka zonna, era kaakati wuuyo atambula mpola abakulu bamukulembera kutegeeza nti takyali muntu wa bulijjo. Awerekeddwako omukulu John Kenny Alukyamuzi abamumanyi ennyo mu kibiina ekyo ekya DP, yaliwo nnyo y'omu ku bakulu abatembeesa ensonga okulaba ng'omukulu ono atuuka waali olwaleero. Obudde bwonna tugenda kuba tumwegattako tutegeere ensonga.
It's 9 minutes to the time, the end of the time that is in the law. The chairperson will guide on what to do next.
Merci. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we have successfully nominated 3 candidates today. Since 10 o'clock this morning, we are now come to the end of today's programs. And I thank God that all the 3 candidates who had booked to be nominated today have successfully completed that task. Now, we are going to adjourn today's proceedings and come back here tomorrow for another round of nominations when we expect more candidates. As of now, the candidates who are expected tomorrow are 2. However, as I indicated earlier on, since the Commission has continued to verify the supporters ladies and gentlemen, of those who managed to return the papers, we shall confirm we have this evening successfully how many more have successfully been verified to have satisfied since 10 o'clock the numbers of supporters from the districts as indicated. But for now, I want to thank you so much of today's program for having been part of this very important process. And I urge you to come back tomorrow, God willing, so that we continue. Thank you. May God safely take you to your homes. For to be nominated today have successfully completed that task. Now, we are going to adjourn today's proceedings and come back here tomorrow.
The chairperson will come back
of nominations when we expect more candidates.
Ensonga bwezityo bwezitambudde olunaku olwaleero nga bw'olengedde okusinziira kuva ku makya wali eri we twatandikidde n'omukulembeze w'eggwanga incumbent Yoweri Kaguta Tibuhaburwa Museveni Ssemalungu eyasookedde ddala then ne tufunamu awo Robert Kasibante ate era nga tuwunzise n'omukulu Elton Joseph Mabirizi. Olunaku olwaleero babadde basatu abasobodde okubeera nga bakakasibwa newankubadde oba oliawo lisiti tubadde tugisuubira okuba empanvu naye okusinziira kakiiko k'ebyokulonda kagamba olunaku olw'enkya kasuubira 2 naye newankubadde kataddewo endowooza nti wayinza okubaawo abalala abatuukiriza ebyo ebyabasabibwa akakiiko k'ebyokulonda. Ebimu ku ebyo bye batunuulira gy'emikono 10,000 okuva mu disitulikiti 98 ate era n'okuba nti osobola okuba ng'osasudde miliyoni 2 ez'essalira z'olina okusasula ezitali zaakuddizibwa bw'oba oyiseemu oba toyiseemu n'ebirala ebigendera mu kkowe eryo
I want to thank you so much for having been part of this very important process. So